With our top stories. Dango, a victim of conjugal violence, today begun her journey to her final resting place. Her remains were today removed from the Gynecological Hospital mortuary and given academic honors at the government high school Nilong, where she used to dish out lessons to her students. Her colleague and family members continue to cry for justice. A 33-year-old man killed in the course of a scuffle with a commercial motorcycle rider over a 300 francs change. The victim, Jean-Claude, was on his way back home when he boarded a motorcycle. Tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And two, a recent release by Trade Minister Luc Magrabaga Thangana announcing drop in the prices of the 20 and 25 liters containers of extra refined cooking oil welcomed with mixed feelings. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Diang Yango, a victim of conjugal violence, today began her journey to her final resting place. Her remains were today removed from the Gynecological Hospital in Douala and given academic honors at Government High School Nilong Dogbasi, where she used to dish out lessons to her students. Her colleagues and family members continue to cry for justice. Dian Yango's journey from the corridors of the Gynecological Hospital in Douala to her final resting place has unfolded as a harrowing saga of tragedy and injustice. For 4 agonizing months and 10 days, her remains lay sealed and ensnared in bureaucratic inquiries by the State Council. The staggering mortuary bill, an exorbitant sum of almost 1,200,000 francs CFA, finally cleared by government through the Ministry of Public Health. Amidst tearful farewells and mourning, Diane's departure on Thursday unleashed an outpouring of grief from her devastated loved ones.
2023. C'est dur. Ça fait 5 mois que nous la pleurons.
Her memory was painted with hurls of courage and dedication as colleagues and students alike gathered to bid her farewell. From the hallowed halls of Government High School Nilong Dogbasi in Douala, where she impacted knowledge with passion, to the solemn declarations of her peers, Diane's legacy as a beacon of strength in the teaching profession remains unblemished.
She was very professional. She was very involved in the education community. She was those kind of teacher that we cannot find a lot again in our school.
She will speak out when he does not go. So I was quite surprised for her reaction. I never knew she can be very this, because she used to talk. When we meet, she will always talk. So I was quite surprised that she could be keeping such a lot in her.
Very brilliant, always available, ready to help those in difficulty.
However, beneath the veneer of accolades and tributes lies a stark reality. Diane's untimely demise was a snag reminder of the pervasive scourge of conjugal violence.
who say, "Vengeance is the Lord's, and may her soul rest in perfect peace."
As her colleagues and family demand justice, the alleged perpetrator, her husband, languishes behind bars of Newbell prison, awaiting his day in court. Colleagues of Nziang and other women have called on women to open up to any form of domestic violence, open up so they could be safe. Let's listen.
And this is just a result of what women are going through. There are many giants out there. There are so many that they will smile with you, but in they are suffering, they're dying, but they will not speak out. And this is what is killing them. Today we are burying our wives, our sisters, our daughters. We need to put a stop to that. Her death should be a stop to that.
But the circumstances of her demise puts us in a very delicate situation. Why? Because women should speak out. When things are not working out, we should speak out. Marriage is not an achievement. Marriage is not an achievement. She is gone. She has left behind 3 little children. They will grow up like orphans. Whereas if she spoke out, if she was outspoken, things would not have been like this. But it has happened. We will not question God. We say, "Vengeance is the Lord's, and may her soul rest in perfect peace."
The women have to stand up, take on their hands their future. The woman has to stop violence at a tender age. That is what I have to say to the community, to the woman. Women have to work against violence. It's women who can stop violence.
33-year-old man in the course of a scuffle with a commercial motorbike rider. A motorbike at a certain point, the rider refused to take the customer to the agreed destination. The bike rider and the customer argued over the breach on contract on the part of the motorbike rider, and in the course of the dispute 3 times, and he died on the spot. Sally Sharifa.
Home from work after boarding a commercial motorcycle from the city center of Kribi to Ndombe district's Kumba entrance in the south region of Cameroon. At a certain point, the rider refused to continue the journey on grounds of fatigue. Giving the bike rider 500 to receive 300 francs balance ignited a quarrel between the rider and the customer. The bike rider needed his 200 francs but had no balance to refund to Jean. A lady who overheard their discussion opted to pay the 200 francs as she had the cash but couldn't save the situation, as the bike rider in fury declined the offer. In course of the quarrels, Jean-Claude was stabbed 3 times with a knife and later gave up the ghost. The body of Jean-Claude is currently at the mortuary at the Kribi District Hospital. According to eyewitness, a neighbor to Jean-Claude, the presumed killer escaped after the incident. Thursday, March 28, 2024, youths of the neighborhood barricaded the road to express their discontentment following the killing of the young man. Visiting the home of the victim, the mother of 33-year-old Jean-Claude remains heartbroken. Forces of law and order have opened investigations in order to track the assailant. On the crime scene, a mobile phone was found, an item to track the presumed murderer.
2 recent release by the Minister of Trade, Luc Magua Baga-Fangana, announcing drop in the prices of 20 and 25 liters containers of extra refined cooking oil, welcome with a mix of feelings, while some see it as a sign of future decrease in the prices of basic commodities. Others doubt its durability. Opinion sampled in Yaoundé on this day when the new prices goes operational with Beatrice Ngamo.
The prices of the 20 and 25 liters containers of 2 popular extra refined cooking oil has witnessed a drop from 25,500 to 22,000 for the 20 liters and 31,000 to 27,700 for the 25 liter container. That is 3,500 and 3,300 kets respectively. The contents of two released signed on the 26th and 27th of this March by Trade Minister Luc Magwambaraga at Tangana. While some are aware of the communiqué, others are getting it from reporters and doubt if it is for real.
Oui, c'est aussi ça, on n'est pas sûr, c'est aussi ça.
Why not drop in the price of 1 litre of oil? The common man's choice. Many question.
Nous, on n'a jamais acheté le bidon de 20 litres. Pour nous, c'est 1 litre, demi-litre, autre 2 litres.
The announcement saluted by others, especially as it is about time.
Si c'est vraiment ça, c'est que c'est une bonne chose. Parce qu'on a trop souffert.
Et c'est déjà une bonne nouvelle. Et ça encourage aussi les familles.
Not only cooking oil, this lady adds, the price of rice should follow suit.
Très bien même. Si on pouvait aussi baisser tout, comme ça, comme on a baissé l'huile, on baisse aussi tout, c'est très fier. Même le riz.
The traders on their part agree it is good, but their stock is on the last December oil price.
Non, je n'applique pas encore ce nouveau prix, car j'ai les anciens stocks et je pense que pour appliquer ce nouveau prix, il va falloir que nos fournisseurs voient comment il va faire quelque chose par rapport à cela.
The measure brings some sort of relief, taking households gradually out of the unbearable situation as many see future drop, especially in the price of 1 litre oil and other basic commodities.
And elections, Cameroon reveals that over 140,000 Cameroonians have registered into the registration list this 2024 with a number of women, youths, emphasis on the preparation of the different elections in 2025. More with our reporter, Hyson Shah.
We launched on January 1st, 2024 as the voters' registration process as of March 27 counts a total of 144,817 new registered voters. Among them, 54,693 women and 90,124 men, including persons with disabilities. And with the 2025 elections fast knocking at the door, Elections Cameroon is stepping up mobilization at both national and the international scene.
As part of our 2024 strategic priorities, we will soon be deployed to the diaspora to assess the ongoing voter registration. To that effect, a team of technicians will be dispatched in the coming weeks to all our diplomatic representations and consular offices. Their task will be to fix some of it with the view of ensuring the smooth continuation of voter registration.
Meeting at the extraordinary session of the Electoral Board for the year 2024, this Thursday in Yaoundé, Elecam Board Chair Eno Abrams Egbe challenged his collaborators to maintain focus to obtain better results on the field.
I would therefore, as always, to detail in order to achieve our objectives.
The electoral body also reiterates in the different electoral processes.
Amidst ongoing crises in Cameroon's English-speaking regions and neighboring Central African Republic, over 1.2 million school-aged children required urgent educational assistance. To address these, governments and education stakeholders launched a multi-year resilience education program now in its second year, as stakeholders convene in Douala to assess its progress. Communication challenges emerge as a significant hurdle to achieving its objectives. Gladys Amodibang has the rest of that story.
In response to the humanitarian crisis affecting Cameroon, particularly in the English-speaking regions and the far north, more than 1.2 million school-aged children are in urgent need of educational support. To address this pressing issue, the government and key education stakeholders initiated the multi-year resilience education program, now in its second year of implementation, as stakeholders gather in Douala, Cameroon, to evaluate the program's effectiveness. Initial reports suggest a positive trajectory.
The main problem there is security. Yes, the problem of insecurity, you know, since 2016, we have actually been living in this, but we want to thank God, our partners here, all of them, they have brought smiles to us, giving gifts, helping those parents who cannot send their children to school, creating space for children, IDPs, refugee children, and all the other children who could not have access to school. They have access to school now with the support.
It is a 3-year program, and we are at the 2nd year. Activities have been carried in the field, so they wanted to see where there were loopholes, where there were gaps, the good practices, the lessons learned, the strategies that they could put up to make sure that at the end of the project, that is in 2025, there will be a successful implementation of the project in Cameroon.
However, significant challenges persist, with communication identified as a primary obstacle to fully meeting the program's objectives.
To see how we can improve communication and collaboration at the regional level, at the central level, at the municipal level. And I think the whole issue was just a miscommunication. People were missed out in the whole communication chain, but we keep reviewing efforts to improve on that.
Despite these challenges, the program aims to reach a total of 454,000 displaced children and adolescents, including refugees, returnees, and host communities across regions such as the Northwest, Southwest, Far North, East, and Adamawa by the end of the 3-year program in 2025.
The first phase of the project by the French Development Agency to combat landslides, floods, and other catastrophes in Limbe, a southwest region of Cameroon, has yielded significant results. Presented in Yaoundé, it was an occasion to re-strategize on new measures to consolidate the strides and seeking the efforts of all for a safety environment. More with our reporter, Aisencha.
In 2021, Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon was a victim of landslide and floods, leading to loss of lives. Hence, the priority given to the fight against natural risk, with measures such as technical and civic engineering solutions applied to areas of steep urbanized slopes and likely to suffer such disaster. It is in those exposed watersheds, identified after study, that the draining trench approach was implemented.
From the slopes of Mabeta right down to Southeast Community, Lower Motowo. And the objectives of the project were geared towards reducing the effects of floods and landslides within this catchment. So we're able to dredge the river. We deepened it and we widened it to enable a smooth flow of water, which is one of the activities.
Objective: to stop water saturation, washcoat from a certain threshold cause landslide in risky areas. This is reinforced with the use of a plant of Asian origin with a deep root system.
We are talking about 30,000 inhabitants living in that particular area, and for decades now they have been having challenge of flood. But with this project, we have seen significant drop of flood that I can even tell you that is barely zero. With the planting of the vetiver, it's a strong tree that is planted to grip the soil.
The project, championed by the Limbe City Council, is financed by the French Development Agency to the tune of over 500 million CFA francs, and the focus at the moment is to seek more funding for work continuation.
And that's how we saw it on this edition. Rather, sorry, we are taking you to Limbe. We are talking about, that's how we saw it on this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching, and coming up next is The Brief with Lil Pijou. As for me, I will be back at the same time tomorrow. Good night.